Public health care has an elaborating, providing and delivery system that is instituted by the Mexican government. It is provided to all the Mexican citizens according to the Article 4 of the Constitution. Now, public health care in Mexico is one of the most controversial subjects that needs to be clear.
When we talk about the amount of doctors that work in a hospital, we can't say that there are enough. There's a case that occurred in Tabasco in which a 50-year-old mother asks the doctor for her daughter. Unfortunately, the doctor tells her that he doesn't recognize her daughter because he's attending 70 patients at the same time. When American public hospitals have from 4 to 6 doctors per 10 patients. This is a very significant difference between these two countries. On the other hand, the Mexican Health Secretary says that more money has been invested in the last 10 years, from 89 million pesos to 132 million pesos. The money has been invested, but where's the progress?
In Mexico, there's corruption everywhere, in our jobs, in the government, in our police, etc. But today I'm going to talk about hospital corruption, specifically about hospital preference. Just to give you a little bit of background, the main objective of hospitalization is to restore or improve health so that the patient can return safely to their home. Therefore, it is intended hospital stays are relatively short and patients can safely discharge to their home or to another health center. Well, I'm conscious that Mexico isn't the only country with those type of problems, but today it's about Mexico. Did you know that with a small amount of money you can get in any hospital here in Mexico? And did you know that only 3% of the doctors refuses to accept the money they get offered? A similar case happened to me once. I got injured really badly playing football soccer and I needed urgently a knee surgery. So a friend of mine who was a doctor, he got me in the hospital in 2 days.
Shortage of medicines can be defined as not having the enough amount of medicines the entire population requires. This is mainly caused thanks to the low budget hospitals have to invest in medicines, thanks to their leader corruption. I can give a personal point of view thanks to my grandfather. My grandfather is an 80-year-old person. He worked for 40 years for a public junior high school, so we basically can say he won the right of receiving free health attendance. He recently had a heart attack and he has diabetes, so we have to go to the hospital once every 3 months, which is actually a lot of time, but well, that's another point. Once we are there, we have to wait hours and hours for being attended. When the doctor finally calls us, he attends my grandfather and he gives him his prescription. Once we have the prescription, we have to go to another waiting room to wait for hours until the guy calls us. When the guy finally calls us, we give him the prescription and he might say something like, "Oh, sorry sir, we ran out of this one." This is actually frustrating because my grandfather has to buy 3 out of 7 medicines he was prescribed. This gives us an average of 3,000 pesos per month. As I mentioned before, my grandfather worked for 40 years. Thanks to this, he can afford to buy medicines. But we are not here just to talk about the problems that affect our family. We are here to raise the voice for those ones who don't have one. There are families in Mexico that go day by day. They don't have money to spend in other things, and emergencies cannot be prevented. So we only want money to be invested in things that really matter.
As we can see, the problems come basically from the economic branch. Economic problems that have been year by year affecting the life of thousands of Mexicans. But why are the economic problems if we are supposed to have a budget, especially for health? The answer is really simple. What happens if you give your money to your friend because you want to go to the bathroom? That money was for your lunch, so when you come back, he tells you there is no money, or give you just a part of it. Now he has something to eat. What is the first thing that you are going to think? He stole it. This is basically what is happening in our days. Leaders take the money and use it to their own instead of using it in what they should. And they do it because no one can make anything against them. We are not here to judge them, but to ask them to stop doing it. This thing of taking money that is not yours might seem easy in the moment, but think in the large-term consequences. You won't only affect the population, but also your own family, because sooner or later you will be discovered. Stop making money, stop damaging families.
We honestly hope this message gets to the people who are responsible for the problems we mentioned before, which basically are the hospital preference, the lack of personal doctors, medicine, and space. We also expect you to have in mind our solution we gave and improve the life of thousands of Mexican families. Thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed our talk.